Yo, what's going on, boys? Here, stuck in traffic on the highway. That's just how it goes, you know. And I want to talk a little bit about patience. And, you know, why patience is super important. Because if you can learn patience and discipline and that idea behind being present to the moment, bro, and the lack of having to have, instant gratification all the time, to have that delayed gratification of, hey, you know what? I can wait in this line, you know? Do I want to wait in this line? No. Okay, we can all admit that. But the idea behind we need to be more patient in our lives is huge. Um, Back in the day, before they even had cars, right? How do you think people got around? Like they didn't. Like the airplane wasn't even in an existence. Um, and so it's just kind of interesting that it's like everything is so fast nowadays. To save us time, yet we still don't have any time. You rush to work and then you rush home to do what? Stare at a wall? To play some video games? To watch a movie? To order some fast food so you can feel like trash, to have a low vibration energy? To not work out? I know it's hard, the rat race of I gotta rush to work and then I gotta rush home and then I gotta deal with the kids and everything, and it's like, when do I have me time? When do I have time to actually focus on the gym or whatever, and my goals? And I think that comes from an idea of you need to be planning in advance. One of the biggest things I learned, like, look at this guy, no patience, gonna cut me off right now. It's just how it goes. One of the biggest things I learned in college was you've got to have your act together. In an essence, like when I would study for finals, right? You don't just go into finals without having studied. Sorry for the sun right there. You don't go into finals without having some sleep. You know what I mean? And it's just the way it is, at least for me, because there were guys who wanted to do, pull all-nighters, study, and then all of a sudden want to go in and take a test and think they're going to do their best. And I just don't think that that's the best move when you're all high on coffee and Adderall and everything else. Because, well, for one, I didn't really do that kind of stuff. I don't really like coffee, to be honest with you. I'll take, there are guys who need 5 cups of coffee a day, right? Excuse all the shakiness. But for me, I can literally just wake up like this. The only caffeine I'll ever have is a pre-workout, because I feel like that helps me get back in the zone. And there's more in the pre-workout than just caffeine anyway, right? So it's going to give you a better pump. You're going to feel the beta-alanine in your ears. And maybe it's just nonsense, but to me, I kind of grew up with that at the gym. And so it's like, well, that's just my habit routine, right? And so your habits create whatever that is for you. But when you can really schedule out your day, right, and schedule out your life, bro, you're going to be able to really go somewhere. Because if I just drove the car here, right, and we just aimlessly went somewhere, I really apologize for that, son. There's nothing I can do about it. If I just aimlessly drove somewhere, bro, and didn't have a destination, it might be fun, whatever. But if we're gonna go somewhere specific, I want to go to the Grand Canyon, for example, let's go there. Now we have a destination and a plan. Now we have a goal, and as men, we need that. I'm not a woman, so I don't really know how they feel about it or think in that way. But I know as a guy, we want to conquer, we want to win, and we want to have a goal and a mission. And so when we have those in place, we're going to be able to do a lot better when the results come in. Because let's be honest, everything is about results. Okay, when I was in high school, I played the trumpet. Okay, I still play the trumpet. I knew I wanted to play it. I saw it when I was a kid. And everything was a competition. It was, are you better than the next guy? And I guess it could be kind of frustrating about that, right? It's like, oh, I got to compete against this again. But it gets you in a competitive state. It pushes you to be a better person. And I was always in those competition rooms wanting to be the best. I was literally like the first one to go. There's like a room of like 50 people. And, you know, I would just stand up and do what I know I needed to do because I was ready and prepared. So when you're ready and prepared for whatever it is you're going through, you're going to be, I think there's a phrase, right? It's, if you don't plan, I can't remember it exactly. It's like, if you don't plan ahead, plan to fail, something like that. And so I think that's all intuitive knowledge that we all know, but sometimes you just need someone to kind of push you a little bit, you know? And I think that's kind of what I'm noticing from a lot of guys is that if it's up to them, they're just going to do a mediocre job because, you know what, it gets the job done. It's not really a job I like or enjoy, but you know what, it pays the bills. I have a decently comfortable life, and you know what, there's minimal pain. And so because of that, you don't really want to improve. And I'm here to tell you that there's so much more for the world. There's so much more out there for you in the world. It's just a matter of perspective. I know some of you guys, for example, probably went to high school and then didn't go to college, went straight to a job and working, you know, your butts off to get barely any money. And then hating every job and going from there. And that's no way to live, man. Like, what is it you really want to do? For me, I've been at this job for 5 years and I really enjoy it. Like, I wouldn't be doing this, you know, and I get it. A lot of people want to do side hustles and all this stuff, and that's fine. But you need an actual job, something that's going to pay you money, something that's going to pay you a high rate of money so that you can finance those ambitions that you want to do on the side. And so what does that mean? That means that you're going to always be doing something and there's not going to be a lot of down chill time. That's one thing I've really noticed is that it's like, man, it's like one thing to the next. And like, let's say my brother wants to play a video game with me. Awesome, I would love to. Let me pencil that in somewhere because I'm literally busy all the time. You know, when I was in high school and all that, I was able to do more of that because I didn't really have much going on, right? I was like, like my dad would come into the room and he's like, so what do you want to do with your life? And I'm like, I don't know, I like cars and I like video games. And he's like, yeah, well, that doesn't really pay the bills. And you say, okay. And I wasn't, like, streaming wasn't a thing back then, and I didn't even think I was good enough to do that anyway. So I was like, well, engineering it is. And so I've really enjoyed it, but it certainly hasn't been the easiest ride. And what I really enjoy a lot is flying, like being a pilot. And so you've got to find what it is you love. I encourage you to go to like a bookstore or something and just go through all the areas and see what's inspirational to you. See what's going to inspire you and pick something. You know, oftentimes it's like some people are still 40, 50 and they don't know what they want to do when they grow up. And that's sad. That's just sad, bro. Because we got to figure it out quick. I feel like I'm behind already, you know, and I'm actually quite ahead, but still I'm not where I want to be. And I know some of you guys feel the same way. So for me, I don't have a Monday through Friday. I got a Monday through Thursday, but they're 10-hour days, plus 2 hours, you know, with the gym and travel and all that. So it ends up being like a 13-hour day, plus then you got to put in your dinner and everything. And so each day is very difficult as far as time-wise. And so I have maybe 2 hours a day, so 8 hours during the work week to have any sort of free time, to edit videos, to film or whatnot. That's why I need to be very efficient. And like some of these videos right here, like 10 minutes just driving, that all adds up. And so, know, sometimes I feel like some of these videos is my own therapy, but I know some of you guys can relate. But all right, we're about to be here, and they don't like it when I'm filming, so I'll see you in the next video, boys. In a world full of fakeness and deception, keep dominating your realities. I'll see you later.